Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you for joining me here today. Uh, Good breakfast for everyone because I know this is morning time for you guys, and breakfast is a really sacred moment that is our waking up to a new day and when we are closest to the ones we love, the ones who live in our house. So let's really enjoy this moment together. Thank you for letting me in your life, letting me in your house. Um, Today I brought a very reflective subject, which is kind of a wake up call also for me. It's uh, it's not by mistake that I actually chose this. I also have a lot to grow into that as well. And the thing is, do you remember? I'm not sure. I said the other day on another live about happiness, right? How happiness is not to be thought because thought can be created in your imagination, and you can kind of visualize it, but you cannot really like embrace it until the moment where you feel it. And the part of us that can feel and sense things, it's oh my god, so much weird light, right? And the part of us that can sense happiness is the part of us that can experience. So you need to live it with your whole body, right? Sorry. Because of that, because happiness is not to be thought of. I mean, of course, you can think about your happiness, but not just that. Even because thinking about it may help you visualize it, and in you visualizing it, you will be more directed to what are your paths. But plans sometimes, as there was this speech by Shakespeare's plans sometimes they fall through our fingers, right? And the thing is, the part of us that can really experience is when something brings you so much joy that even your heart can feel it. And because of that, happiness is something that the only place in you that has the roadmap to it is in your heart. And the good thing is, because that path is mapped in your heart, it is really important to understand what is going on your heart. Now, this may be actually a difficult chat, and because of the theme, because this theme is try to call for reality. In reality, this is a hard chat. Okay, let me warn you about this because this is true. Reality not always is what we think, what we've planned, what we were wishing. And the thing about a plan is that sometimes you make long-term plans, but sometimes you reach the middle of the plan, and for some reason you get called by something else, another type of experience. So I'm trying to choose a better light in here, but I'm in the middle of a tree situation spot in here, so let me move my camera and my stuff just a bit. I don't want to be facing the sun because that could be distracting for me. Just a little bit, please. Much better now. Good. I hope. And the thing about this is only your heart knows what will make you feel good. Because, and why am I talking about the long-term plans? Because sometimes it is common that we make long-term plans. Marriage is a long-term plan. Companies, building a company from scratch, or participate into one that you need to really focus on growth, and because of that you need to think like 20 to 30 years ahead of you. It is good to make plans. Don't let me mistake you. Don't let me be myself deceiving. It's not about that. It is good to have plans, but You know this, right? Sometimes plans they don't go according to what we wanted. And the reality call is because of that. Let's realize the the place from our thoughts, our beliefs in which we built our plans and the place of truth. Okay? I will make a comparison. For example, you could have, let me give you an example. You could have two people that were connected and for some reason they got apart. But even though they got apart, for some reason they cannot disconnect. They keep calling each other, they keep trying to find ways in be in each other's life. And the truth in that is not the separation, is the fact that they are still connected. And why this is a reality check? Because sometimes we're thinking things and we're overthinking things. And we are trying to believe with ourselves that we are building a different reality and that we are in a different situation. But in a day to day basis, things are for real when they are for real in your heart. So in this case that I just quoted, for example, you wouldn't have just someone who is separated from the other one. No, the truth is in spirituality, they are together, they are bonded, they are connected. And precisely because of that, they keep looking for each other, they keep calling each other. There is no real separation. There is togetherness. And the detail and the uncomfortable part is that the other way around could be true too. What does that mean? So for example, you could have a couple that has been together for like 15, 20 years. But on a day-to-day basis, they're not talking to each other. They're not intimately relating to each other. They are not concerned about the other one's lives. So this is the wake-up call, delicate part of it, because the truth is that that couple is actually separated. They could be bounded by a contract of marriage. They are honestly separated. Because in spirituality, they are not interiorly connected. They are not focusing on each other anymore. So the reality between them is that they are apart. And here is something that is very important because only your heart knows the map to your happiness. This is really important to respect one's wishes. Now, this is interesting because it's like this. You can fight against it, but you will be swimming against the current of the river. And that causes fights, that causes emotional spent of energy, that causes, yeah, spending your energy on things that will bring no results. And there is a Celtic line of a magical belief of spirituality that says and teaches that each commitment we make will be spiritually internally revealed after each 1 year and 1 month, so 13 months. Each plan you make, you commit in your heart, will be revisited and reevaluated by your spirit for your life at each 1 year and 1 month, 13 months. And why am I talking about this? I know, and I have lived that for a really long time of my life. I have lived that experience in which you make a plan and you want to stick to it. And you want to hold on to it super strongly because you have a lot going on in your mind about that plan, about that path and that journey. But the thing with that journey is Um, Sometimes a journey in our lives, they're only there to lead us to somewhere else. And life will inspire you to make plans and to go through some place that will feel you like you desire it, but that was not the end of the way. That was not the final objective of that journey, you know. The final objective of the journey would have been to the journey from where you start until when you go, until life causes you to change the path. So until a certain point, everything was going smoothly as you were thinking and planning about it, but at a certain point, the plan just got stuck. It's just not going anymore. And the thing about that is, for some reason, in this point on, life is not allowing you to continue. And if you fight the current of the river, you will suffer because life is indicating you your own path. Life is giving you a wall that says no. And that no is not a no forever. That no is like a no for this way that you're doing. Okay, so in this way that you're doing, it's not gonna happen. Or you find another way to make the same thing happen, or you will be led into a totally new way, a totally new path. And why do I say that? Why am I calling us for this subject? Because it's like this. Sometimes we are with someone in our lives very closely related, and your path will call you to come to a certain place, but that other person's path is calling her to another place. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are disconnected. That only means that your spirit is being called to live one experience and the other spirit is being called to live another experience. Now, does that mean you need to be apart? No, only your heart will know, because it's like this. Okay, I'm gonna surrender to the sun. Let's surrender to the sun. So, okay, because of that, you will have this moment that your heart will decide if going physically apart or not physically apart, but having different projects of life, your heart will decide if even having different projects of life you will be yet together and connected, or if you will be disconnected. Because sometimes, even the path being the same, the inner connection will be broken. And spiritually speaking, and I'm sorry for religious people because this may come as a, oh, but you're against the traditions and all of that. Not really, but my path is direction to the truth. Okay, so tradition sometimes it is for real, but sometimes tradition also leads a person to not live in honesty. And that's sad because if you're not living in honesty, how can you find your happiness? If you're living outside of your perspective of what is good for you because you're trying to please others, how are you going to be happy, right? So when you're trying to live a reality that when you're trying to live a reality that will not be aligned to your heart, it's the best way to call it, you will be leaving yourself fall behind of yourself. You'll be falling behind. You will be left aside from yourself. And that is really delicate because this is almost like accepting to die while you are alive. Because if you are living a lie, I'm sorry to say you are not living. there is a difference of naturality and plants, because when you walk a natural way, when you walk a natural path, you are being inspired, you are being in flow, you are being in the current of the river. It's almost like you're surfing. But when you try to plan something and stick to it and get kind of stubborn to it, you will, how's Gotado is called, you will be tired. You will be super tired because you were trying to kind of go against life, kind of go against what is good for you. And in accepting that, well, this is it. You will be living a lie. But that's not just about it, okay? This is not just about you and yourself living a lie. So, okay, sometimes we are in other people's lives. And sometimes we and I know this from all of my heart, okay? I'm the first example in here. We want people to come with us, and we want them to live the same experience as us, and we want to bring them together because we know that our journey will be happy, and we want to share this with them. So we keep pulling that person to live with us, but inside of that person is not connected to your idea. And this is not a bad thing. This is just because the other person's spirit, it will make everything that it can to try to make the other person live the reality of her heart, because this is an inner natural path of your spiritual part. The spiritual part of you seeks for truth, seeks for living, seeks for reality. In the sense of seeking for something, right? Looking for something. And the other person's spirit will give her a thirsty, her or him, a thirsty for just being truth to aligned to the happiness path of that other person's heart. Sorry, my English. I'm getting a little stuck today. And the thing is, even though we do want to bring someone into our journey and our path because we know it's going to be awesome. Believe me, sometimes it's going to be awesome just for you. And doesn't mean you are going to pass through everything alone, because in the path that your spirit is leading you to live, there will be other people wishing the same thing, but you will only meet them once you start that journey. Because when you start that journey that your heart, your spirit is desiring, all the world will combine, all the places, all the situations, all the opportunities will combine to make that path encounter the people from that path. And why do I say this? Not that we cannot be persistent, or not that we cannot stop to show the other person how happy our path can be. You can totally open up a talk. But in the end, if you don't accept the other person's answer, if the other person's answer happens to be different from what you wished, you will be sad. And this is only on you. And this is only your responsibility. And there will be for spirituality, there will be no, oh, but the other could come with me, that is so selfish, and the other could do this, and the other could do that, and the other could, yeah, I know. But it's not about just being selfish. It's about not accepting this respectiveness of your own inner path that sometimes is not precisely like the other's path. And I know of that because I had once in my life been a really jealous person. Like, I would say no to everything for my partner. Uh, I would keep calling forever go on a trekking or something with me. Roundabout, right? It's promenade in French. And you will be sad, and this is on you. This is not the other one's responsibility, and it's not about being selfish. It's about respecting oneself, you know. And why am I talking about this? Because this is really huge. I mean, if you are here, you're trying to gather spiritual consciousness, right? You're trying to wake up your mind from illusion. You're trying to come to honesty. You're trying to come to reality. You are trying to live a true life and filled of joy and filled of synchronicities, building it up to go so perfectly and smoothly and go with the flow, right? And believe me, you can only do this by accepting the truth. And sometimes, I'm sorry to say that, but this is a call for the truth. Sometimes you are in that 20 years old marriage, but you guys don't talk, you don't connect. When you want to have fun, you need to call out some friends. Your partner won't go with you. Your partner don't feel fun on the things you choose, and that is the honesty in his or her heart. I'm sorry to say, but let's bring you to honest. Let's bring us, me included, to live a real life. And if I was fighting yet to have my wishes being accomplished with everyone who I wanted to be in my life and in my path and in my journey, I wouldn't have ex-boyfriends making total success in the music area. I wouldn't have friends making a lot of success as a teacher. I wouldn't have had friends that are going totally great in their programming, computer programming skills, you know. And I have so many friends with so many different characteristics, even my stubbornness in trying to convert some friends into spirituality while they are working so goodly as skeptical people only looking forward into science, and they're making great discoveries, they're making good participation into the world. uh, that wouldn't be the same if I kept insisting for them to join my path. So there is a beauty in the difference of paths, and you will only know when you allow it to happen. And also, there is a tricky about true, because you kind of deny it now, but the truth to your heart is the only way you can feel pleasure. So when you stop denying your inner truth, and when you detach from the other's spiritual path, because sometimes you want to go to the beaches, but the other one wants only to take care of the company, or the other one only wants to play guitar, or the other one only wants to shopping, or the other one only wants to hang out with friends. And the thing about that is, it is supposed to be respected, honey. It is a spiritual path cannot be deceived. A spiritual path will yell inside of your heart for you to accomplish it. So, for example, I like nature, and I do like to gather with people who likes nature. But there is a lot of richness in the people from the arts. So sometimes I get out of my nature zone and I go into the art zone, and I learn a lot from all the artists. And sometimes I'm out of my nature environment and I'm not in the artistical environment, but I'm in a philosophical environment. And I learn a lot from that too. And sometimes I'm not in any of those three. Sometimes I'm talking to a friend that is a really, really, really good seller in whatever subject. He's a really good seller, and he tells me about his way of connecting to people in order to pass an idea and everything surrounding that. It's not my area, it's not the thing that I love, but I get to learn things in that process, you know. And why am I calling up this subject? It's because, like this, we don't want to hurt others, right? If we are trying to be in here at this point, gathering some spiritual consciousness, is because we want to be woke up. It's because we want to stop with our illusions. We really want to have this call for reality. So the thing is, I'm calling this subject because realize what is the truth on your inner path. Don't fight against nature. Don't fight against your inner nature. Because sometimes you are living a married life because, well, you had just planned, and because your family thinks it's right, and because of everything, you made vows, and there's all that, but maybe that marriage is no longer true in your heart. And it's you who will feel the pain if you allow yourself to be stuck in there to not make the other one sad. And when I talk about marriage, this is very practical actually for me, because marriage can, in tarot knowledge, marriage doesn't only represent husband and wife, okay? A marriage contract could be a society into a company. A marriage could be a focused idea into a plan. And for some reason, life has stopped you in there. Life is not saying no forever to you, it's just saying no, not this way. So you should only try to change your vision as the Hanged Man from Major Arcana Tarot cards, because the Hanged Man is not negative. Okay, the Hanged Man is a person who has been hanged over his feet. It looks like a man. He looks like he's hanged over his feet, and he's actually calm. He's facing upside down, and even though his back is close to the ground, he's actually calm. Because this is representative of the fact that he's looking into reality from a new and different perspective, different from others. And the Hanged Man in Major Arcana Tarot cards, the Hanged Man is represented by Aquarius, because Aquarius is the visionary who is kind of rebellious, because he's trying to bring a new vision. He's trying to bring a new, and I say he's because the zodiac sign is in Portuguese. It's a man. It's a male word. Okay, the gender of the word is male. So the idea of the Aquarius sign is that he will make everything spin around in your ideas, so you can have this moment of recognizing that only by looking from a different perspective is that you will find new solutions. And this is not bad. This is happening because life is asking you to grow, and life is asking you to uh, kind of evolve in your mind, but not evolve as in the search for evolve, just as in live something different, and you will learn different things. So when we are pushing people to live our reality, we're not respecting the other person's spirit, because maybe you are super full of energy and you super want to enjoy the world and travel out of every country there is to be able to visit, but the other person just wants to stay at home and calm. My personal problems. But it is true. And maybe if you accept this and you tell the other person, okay, you really want to be calm again, huh? Okay, be calm there. I will enjoy all the things I want to enjoy. You will be respecting the other one's path. And why is that so important? I think I'm going to pass the time again. I'm sorry. And why is that so important? Because maybe because you don't know what's going on inside of the other person, you don't know if that other person is needing that moment of calm and reflectiveness. Because maybe that person is facing internally some growth that is being really exigent to her. As in, there is so much to process, that the other person is so agitated in her own mind that she doesn't want outside world agitation. She just wants to calm her mind to be able to pass through a thunderstorm or something, you know. And maybe if you allow that other person to live this process of being calm at a certain point, like someone who is waking up from a weird dream, the person will understand what she or he wanted to understand and will give in into this wake up moment that she will say, "Hey, okay, for some reason now I'm amused. I would like to go. Can I go with you today? I want to go. I don't want to stay in the house calm and just thinking to myself, today I want to go. Can I go?" And that's the beauty of reality. You make the other person's yes be a truthful yes, not just yes, I go with you because you want me to. There is a pleasant in, okay, I accept because it will make you feel happy. There is a pleasant in that, but let me make you an honest question. Isn't that a lot more happy when the other person goes with you because she wants to go with you? Isn't that like a way too much more honesty? Isn't that like a way too much more connection and involvement rather than just, okay, I'll go for you. I don't feel like it, but I'll go for you. Really? Do you want to have that kind of thing going on around you? And this also works for when the relationship ends. Honey, I'm so sorry to talk about this, but it's true. If if it is happening to you, I am so deeply sorry because this is such I'm so deeply sorry. This is such a delicate moment in our lives, right? And that is true. That is a delicate moment in your life, and this will be like that because life is saying to you no. It's not that I'm saying no forever, it's just that I'm saying no like this. Find another path, then maybe you will find a yes. And also, if the second path doesn't work, try a third one. But if you realize that from several paths of trial you are not getting to where you wanted to go, change the path completely. Just go do something else, distract your mind from the subject, go live a totally new reality, and then you ask to yourself and your spirituality about that path again if you actually want it yet. Because when life causes you to change your reality, even though sometimes can be really challenging, and I know how challenging it can be because I'm not so fond of changes that life causes us to live sometimes very, very, very restrictively, kind of, you have to change. I will give you no other solution. You will have to make that change. And you don't know, but when life is doing this with you, it's actually because this is your spirit saying, this path here doesn't bring happiness. Let's change the route because in that other route will be more pleasure, will be more nice stuff to face, there will be growth. So I'm sorry to say, but if the other said no to you, he's saying no because he is respecting his inner call. He's respecting, he or she is respecting her inner spirituality. And only she or he knows what is the roadmap to happiness. So he needs to respect his roadmap to happiness. And it is not about being stubborn, it's just about being self respectful, okay? So I really wanted to bring this up because sometimes we don't want to face this that I'm saying, and believe me, I'm the first example in here. Don't let me deceive you. This is me as an example. We can be like very stubborn sometimes in not accepting to change our reality. And in that, It's only we who will feel the pain. It's only for us that will remain the feeling of feeling like stuck or feeling like late or feeling like I'm not living what I wanted to live. Honey, if the other one doesn't want to go with you, that doesn't mean that the path will be built alone, because that other path that you were trying to live will be many other people trying to live the same reality. You will not find yourself alone. You will find yourself with new friends. And that's probably why your spirit, that's probably the reason for which your spirit is making you live that new reality, you know? So, because of that, make yourself live a reality check. How are the no's and the yeses for your life? That a life's no and a life's yes. When I'm talking about the whole worldwide situation surrounding you, so a life's no or a life's yes is an indication on where you will find the path of least resistance. And you can super be pushy. I'm not saying don't do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying that if you keep pushing against inner natures, you will keep finding resistance. And when you find resistance and you want to push against it, you will keep facing conflicts. You will keep facing the feeling of stuck because you are trying to go against a wall, and the wall is just there. I know there is no wall, but there is just this thing that is not allowing you to go through this path that you're trying to go. So do yourself a reality check and ask yourself, is what I'm living for real? I mean, am I on a marriage that is really a marriage? Or am I on a marriage for society? If you are on a marriage for society, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you punishing yourself? You really are going to let others rule your life even while you are a grown-up person? You don't need to do that anymore. And this is so big that actually maybe you getting out of this way from what was expected from society to live your own way, you will find so much happiness that you will become an example that of when you decided to embrace the reality and the truth of your path, is that you will find that happiness and joy that is so real that others will look like, oh my God, he or she went against everything, and just in that, he or she found their inner happiness. And this is large, and this is a large way to build, okay? Because getting out of lies to come to true lives, it's not so easy. Believe me, I know this with myself, okay? So this was just it. I wanted to do this wake up call because when we're looking for spirituality, believe me, spirituality doesn't allow lies. Maybe it will allow only while you were learning. But if you stop the learning processes, life will change your direction. And you will be sad if you fight against it. So maybe this is why you could be facing some sadness. Okay, let's not be stubborn against something that is so widely bigger than us, which is life. Okay, if life is saying no to you in one wish, it is not saying no forever. It is just saying, hey, try to change your perspective, because maybe this is not the direction. Maybe the direction is that, or maybe the direction is that or that. So check what are the no's in your life. And when you realize where are all the no's, think with yourself, what is the little change or the big change that if I make, this no will stop coming to me? What is the little difference that will bring me the yes? And this will make you reflect to yourself to the point that you will be looking for the reality. And in looking for the reality, you just got to call all your spiritual supporters to help you changing your mentality to face the new life's challenge. And they will be there supporting you on everything. They will be there supporting you by opening up opportunities. They will be there supporting you for combining the people in the same path. They will be supporting you to combine you to that wish of growth that you're feeling or that wish to connect to nature. Believe me, life, okay, there are too many people for you to live alone if you wouldn't like to live alone. You will live alone only if you would like to live alone. And sometimes you do want to live alone and you're not understanding that with yourself. That could also happen. Sometimes you were built to think that you were supposed to go do something, live in a certain way, and for some reason you just want to be alone, hidden in the nature. Just go there and make yourself a try. And if you enjoy it, stay there as long as you enjoy it. You don't need to think with yourself that everything has to be forever, okay? Like doing in university, you first, maybe the first university you did was for marketing and you worked 10 years inside of that and then you enjoyed it and then you learned everything you could, but and now you want to dive. You no longer want to do marketing, you want to dive caves. You want to dive into caves. And this is a growing wish inside of you. So now you want to do diving courses or uh, jump from airplane courses, or you want to kite surf somewhere in Brazil, I hope. Brazil is lovely, okay? So do this reality check within you because this can bring you really new good ideas to find solutions to the things you want. Just remember to keep open-minded because life may be presenting you a new opportunity different from what you expected. I could give more examples, but I think I'm gonna leave this part of the subject for another life because now I have already 10 minutes past of the subject. Again, I'm sorry that I didn't get to do the live. I saw that there were 7 people waiting for it, but I'm still learning how this recording thing works in each new system, so that got me a little bit enrolada. How would be that word in English? Like, yeah, stuck with IT issues, stuck with technical devices issues. So because of that, I recorded today instead of living. But I hope we had the chance to connect. I hope that we had the chance to I hope I had the chance to make this make sense. And I hope that this won't stop us from being connected and reflect together. And again, you are always super welcome to bring me new subjects. You are always super welcome to give me new ideas. And if you have an opposite opinion, you are more than welcome to present me your opposite opinion and we will transcore and we will go through it together, okay? Thank you for being with me here today. Thank you, Love and Moon Boutique. I love this space for us to bring truth and reality into subject. Thank you for every opportunity in the world for everyone. Thank you for the higher forces that keep everything together so our lives can run smoothly or in the best way that we get to. And I hope you have a lovely week ahead and that you feel very blessed in your heart and that you gather with yourself a lot of strength to live what's real for your heart, okay? Thank you so much. Have a lovely week and kisses in your heart. Bye bye.